They're going to go Shadow Shaman, which again, instant lockdown's always good. I wonder if they're going to go into something like a Bristleback as well for Neon.
This is a quick draw.
This is a very quick draft. All right. Well, that's another way to be able to counter the puck, I suppose. I'm just a little bit more concerned about the laning stage and how you're going to be able to get there because, still Brewmaster tossing someone up,
10 seconds
especially
remaining.
the Faceless Void pre-BKB, it's going to be very effective.
So Lilgun, they played this. Wait, who? Someone ran the sniper really. It was Execration. That's right. Execration. They played the sniper versus Made in Philippines in game 2. That was Bob playing it. He had a really good performance. I think we're seeing Entity are also running the sniper a lot for Pure. I think in his old roster as well, they always like going for this kind of all wonky position ones. But a lot of people are saying this sniper hero is pretty strong, and I'm just excited to see, like, this is a second phase sniper, and it's not even an 18th pick where you can protect it with the bands. They picked it knowing that Neon are going to have 2 answer picks.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to be able to counter it with. Obviously, they just need things that are going to be able to get on top of the sniper. So, Faceless Void obviously has that potential. Tiny does as well. I wouldn't say Shadow Shaman does because his priority is going to be towards the puck. So you can see Timbersaw, Night Stalker, heroes that don't really have that issue. The ones that are banned out. It's not like super meta, but I really wouldn't hate to see something like a Centaur come out here, just because it's going to enable the rest of your team, even for the laning stage, right? You just max out the
10
return,
seconds
retaliate,
remaining.
whatever it's called, and then Sniper can't really harass you. So I feel like
5
that'd be a pretty
seconds
decent pick
remaining.
if they wanted to go down that route, but then it would mean that you don't really have anything, honestly, that's going to
Radiant
pair
team
together
ahead.
with your Faceless Void's Chronosphere.
They do, I think, Tiny with Tree Volley is a very good combo.
It's a while.
That is the concern. Yeah, it is a while. So, and it's not like it's a pretty good Tiny game. You can kill the puck. It's probably going to be a position 5 Brew, so he'll maybe have to go a couple fluffy hats and
10
raindrop to make
seconds
sure he doesn't get blown up. You can always get the sniper as well, but if Avatar mode
5
can
seconds
snowball
remaining.
this game on the Tiny, get a pretty good scepter, then they will have damage inside it. But like you said, it's going to take a while. So what's the play for Neon? Do you look to prioritize a hero that can jump the sniper, or do you look to prioritize a hero that can have a little bit of damage in Chrono? What is this beast pick? What's
Sorry,
going on?
Well, I'm just seeing, like, is this a Mars 5, Mars 4, Brew 4? What would even be better this game?
10
I don't.
seconds
What is this? Beast is very good versus the Faceless Void. I can understand that. The
5
Warlock as well
seconds
doesn't deal
remaining.
with summons, but
I think it's just a Mars 4. I think it's better than the Mars against the Faceless Void combination. And then it'll be a Mars 4, and then Brewmaster, Cinderbrew paired together with the Sniper, Shrapnel, always going to be able to proc it, so that's going to be the lanes.
All right, Neon. They got plenty of time to work out what hero they're looking for Enryu's off lane. What's standing up? What do they kind of need to fulfill with this last pick?
They need to get on top of Sniper.
Okay.
It needs to be like Sand King or Slardar or Centaur, like I was talking about. Maybe a Clockwork, but it's pretty easily countered.
I don't hate the Sand King. A lot of AoE damage to play with the Warlock as well. Maybe that Shaman Sand King lane's a little bit awkward.
Maybe a Pango. Wouldn't hate Pango. Like, of course, you've got the Raw to be able to deal with it, but means that you can at least go into the backline and force that out onto one of these heroes.
You may now
Conquer instead.
select your
So is this a
heroes.
3 Tiny?
It's not a 3 Void. Okay.
It's a 3 Conquer. But I feel like you want this against the puck. Like, Conquer is stronger than a Tiny is against the puck. But maybe just thinking, all right, well, we're going to give the Tiny enough farm so that he gets this Blink Dagger because that's what we need.
They're going to go aggro.
Neon just...
I'm sorry to cut you off. I really think Neon going to go aggro. Don't you put the Conquer versus the Beastmaster and go Void Shaman Warlock? I feel like Brew and Mars as supports in a lane. I don't know how much they're going to be able to do. I feel like they need levels. They're very unconventional supports.
Shaman and Warlock do much, though? They're not the greatest. And it's not like Faceless Void has that AoE damage either to really take maximum advantage out of the Fatal Bonds.
That is true. Time Dilation, I think, is a very, very undervalued ability with how it's been buffed up over time, especially in a tri-lane. Maybe that's
I mean, but
an
Cinder Brew plus Shrapnel is still very good, man, into a
yeah.
tri-lane. Like, you're going to hit it onto multiple people. So I'm going to go with Lilgun. I think this is just down the avenue of they have more avenues for pushing. I feel like they've counted the lanes and they're undefeated. Like, they're at the top of the table. And Neon haven't gotten a win yet.
Yeah, when you put it like that, saying that they are undefeated, Neon, they've only found one map victory, which was against Atlantis. So it's not going to be an easy task at all for the lads on Dire, but we'll see. Regardless, this is a very interesting draft that we get to witness here in our game one.
It's something that Neon needed to try, right? They needed to go something a little bit more unorthodox. One other thing that I'd be a little concerned about if I was Neon is that Lilgun, I just had a bit of a look at the players past a couple of weeks of gameplay. Both of the supports on Lilgun have, in their last 25 games, they've lost twice in their pubs. So they are in a rich vein of form in pub play.
Wait, what?
In addition to pro play, they have lost twice. They are 23-2 in their last 25 games.
Wait, is this combined?
No, each.
What? Have they been duo queuing? How is that even? What?
I don't know, man.
What is that?
I don't know.
Hang on, what?
Yep.
What? How many? Hang on a second. I don't want to look at my. Recent matches. How many games is that when you've got a bunch of green in a row? Hang on, that's.
It's a lot. Let me see if I can count the actual win streak itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 games in a row Kishka had. And 3 of them were on the POS 4 Mars as well. So clearly it's something that he's been trying out in pubs.
What's he been going?
Let me have a look.
Probably like Blink. I mean, I have to imagine Blink. He should probably go earn this game. Earn would be kind of nice on Mars though. But you'd prefer it on the Brewmaster. And Ryu. That's not a high ground you want to enter, my good sir. We're getting a lot of first bloods lately. Just people like to walk up the high ground mindlessly, and 11 is going to snag first blood with the axes. So a great start for Lilgun.
30 seconds to battle.
So you're going to think I'm trolling, but he builds it exactly like a normal POS 3 Mars would.
Okay.
We know how far Kishka can get, right? Most of the time it's on like his Keeper of the Light, for example, but clearly he feels like he has that scaling potential for himself.
Well, off to a flying start is Lilgun. Hopefully it's going to get in a position where the Conquer isn't able to protect one of the runes.
The battle begins.
Will not matter. How's it going to shape up down bottom? Bell has got the faster right clicks than Mr. Ace 12. So we've got 3 bounties for Neon. We do have a swap in the lanes as well, but it looks like they're just going to go as a door setup. And Ryu playing top with Chuan on the Shaman. Overall, though, should be pretty interesting. I mean, I brought up that they might try lane. They're just more expecting at least the Conquer to be laning into the Beastmaster, which we see is going to be the case. So, 11 already on point, though. Doesn't even have the boars as a level. So, this lane swap is not really going to prove to be too beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, it's... You could just pick the Beastmaster, right? Because he just enables so much. It's all about that pusher potential that I keep talking about.
Ooh.
Even looking to snipe away the creep wave, but Ryu, he's on point. He's like, okay, well, we want to make sure that these waves are still contested. We feel very confident in being able to just man fight against you for now. It's going to become a little bit more difficult, of course, once you get a couple of extra levels into the Wild Axes, once the Mars, of course, has some of that damage coming through as well. But for now, Ryu, very happy with this.
A big wave coming out of the tower for the Conquer. So we'll see if Chuan's going to soak some experience up as well. We'll take a look at the other side lane. Putting Bell down bottom with the Faceless Void. Up against 423 Sniper. This should be slightly 423 favored, but I don't think you're going to stop the Void from farming, right?
Not.
A little bit. I mean, again, that Cinder Brew is still very effective, right? It's a lot of that slow damage over time. You've got the Shrapnel, of course, for slow damage over time. Void, of course, needs to stand in the creep wave to get any of these last hits. They're even going to go and, well, pop the Cinder Brew onto the Warlock
It's
here.
going to be a lot of damage.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Dyer's
Yeah,
courier
he's forced to
has been
TPR.
killed.
We'll go back to the T1 tower.
By the power
He
of Goreth.
has some tangos. Okay, I was going to say he's going to regen for Mr. Warlock, but at least he's got some tangos being delivered.
And, of course, the Bassi Ring as well, plus the Shadow Word. Just becomes so much more effective, even just once you get into that that level 2 of it. Just be a little bit careful when they go on him, though. He
That's a
used
kill.
the Shadow Word onto the Faceless Void.
So, chase down onto the tower. 4-2-3 is able to find it. Bell is trying to fire back onto Ace, but we saw the Warlock just TP, so he's going to have to make the walk all the way back to bottom. And this is now really difficult for Bell to be able to CS. This is a double wave, and the Void's going to be in a bit of trouble as well. Really nicely done from Lilgun. Just the aggression pushing back the Faceless Void, so he can't freely farm this wave and a half, maybe even 2 waves.
Absolutely. And, well, at least he was able to get the Time Walk off, so he didn't actually take the Cinder Brew damage, but yeah, it was still very nicely done by Lilgun. Built up to level 3 now. We see a lot more snipers look to prioritize the Shrapnel, just as this farming
Top lane, 11.
potential.
He's going to be in trouble, yeah. And Ryu able to step to the side, get that Tide Ring off the range creep, and beautifully done from Neon, so they're able to hit the board for the first time this game.
Bot lane's still going incredibly well, though. We could see Sniper wanting to rush the power treads instead of going into that Wraith Band. He just wants the much more consistent damage. He's not taking any right clicks, so the armor not really useful at all. He just wants the attack speed.
Pew! Pew! I like this set. I've always liked it. Oh, he doesn't
Going
have...
for like $200 or something.
What? Some
Yeah,
sets go
it's one
for
of those.
way too much. Like, they're just... Why? Why do they go for so much money?
It was like an ultra rare from an event, you know? It just happens. It's like pulling a... I was about to say a Blue Eyes White Dragon, but that was common as hell.
Is that Naruto?
Charizard, there you go. Holographic. Oh,
Top lane.
you're killing me.
11. Should be okay with Kishu being able to step in. They actually might be able to turn around on the Shaman. Chuan does have the greatest health pool to be able to combat this. And now Enryu also enters the lane. 11's got the level up in the ball. Little bit of a slow, but Enryu's going to be
The
a
only
double.
thing saving him was lack of mana. Like, he had 4 of those stacks of the Wild Axes up onto him, so if 11 even had just one more
Bottom lane
Wild
set.
Axes, they'd cast.
He's going to be in trouble as well. Ace 12, 2 points in the Cinder. Oh, okay. Nicely done from Bell. Was able to kind of interrupt and the 4-2-3 from continuing to right click.
I still can't get over that Naruto comment, man.
It's, yeah.
You
what
need
was
to
the
become
game?
cultured.
Yeah, no, honestly, I forgot the game. Naruto was a joke.
Yu-Gi-Oh! My
Thank
man.
you.
Have I told you that I was the state champion when I was 13 years old?
Oh, I think you have, honestly, but... I mean, I'm well aware that you're making that up.
I am not making it up.
A Chad like you being state champion? No.
I know, it's hard to believe, but it is true. I am multi-talented.
Oh, no way. What's your original talent?
A
A shit talker? Number
my
one.
tongue that makes it like look like a W.
What?
Yeah, see, it's so obscure that even you don't know about it.
I don't know if... Sounds like a very interesting talent to have. You have some rotations as well to the mid lane. Sanctity and Avatar mode both have level 6, but of course it's going to favor the puck a little bit more with this coil. He's able to find the arcane rune, so going to be excited to see where this puck wants to put his first rotation on, considering it is a hero that can look to get very active at the early stages.
You can see this bottom lane is just going incredibly well for 4-2-3. He has never been under any kind of threat of going down. It does become a little bit easier now that Cess hit up onto that
Lane,
level
Sanctity
3
might be in
Shadow
trouble.
Word.
Chuan trying to rotate over. Great reaction, so from Sanctity. Beautifully done.
This is Sanctity we're talking about, man. He has, of course, that potential for the outplay. That's one of the big things that sets him apart. You know, oftentimes the difference between Div 1 and Div 2 players is, yeah, it's a lot of the mistakes that are made that probably shouldn't be happening, but a lot of it is also the wow factor. You know, you don't have as many wow factor players in Division 2. Sanctity is absolutely one of those players.
And it's really always been that, though, for Lilgun. Like, we've seen Sanctity being on majority of the time the win condition heroes, and also the heroes that can just look to make space. I think, I'll hold that thought, because we do have a rotation down bot. First smoke of the game from Neon. Ace12, really good position to be able to pop the smoke. So it should be enough to keep the sniper alive. In fact, they're going to try and TP down. So Sanctity looking to get involved. What a coil onto 4. The damage, it's not coming through fast enough. They'll only get the kill onto Chuan. Maybe they can turn to the Warlock next as well, as Kishka will chase him down through the tree line. So Lilgun find a 2-for-1 off the back of really nice positioning from their Brewmaster.
Yeah, really good positioning. Just look at his build-up as well. Like, it's all tankiness. The raid drops, the wands, the ring of protection. He just wants to make sure that...
No, you're fine, sir.
Are you thinking they were going to go for a kill in Avatar mode?
Yeah, I'm like, hang on a second, but a couple of right clicks and I saw they were lacking some damage. It's a big rune if they can take it. They should stop the Tiny from getting it. Top lane, 11.
Oh!
First boat of the game. They're able to get the combination out. Chuan, he's getting chased down though with his Centaur Conqueror, so he's going to be free to TP out. Really nice micro coming out from 11.
It was nice micro from 11, but also Avatar mode just TP'd out right in front of the Mars that had just taken the invis route. So he waited until the TP cast bar was at like 0.2 seconds and then just speared him. And then he just had wasted a lot of time. Now, of course, you know as well, the Tiny isn't free to make those rotations quite as easily. So a little bit of a blunder there from Avatar mode.
So do you maybe look to make a play for your Lilgun, knowing that the Tiny is going to be limited to one part of the map for the next, say, 70 seconds?
Yeah, potentially around bottom, right? Like, Tiny, of course, you've got vision of him being around this top side of the map. You've got Dream Coil available. If you could shut down the Faceless Void, the enemy carry, why not?
2,000 net worth lead, though, for Lilgun.
But Sanctity, he is under the vision of this nicely placed Observer Ward from Chuan, so he knows exactly where Sanctity is moving a lot of the time.
Top lane.
And even...
Onto 11. Again, really nice micro, and they can turn this back around onto Chuan. And Kishka's even looking for a +1, but doesn't have the level 6 to play with. Oh, don't get bashed. Don't get bashed. You might be in trouble now, but just gets out under the cover of the pit. No! Rush bashes Avatar mode instead. And now Bella's even looking to enter. Sanctity still has the Waning Rift to look to play with. Bell was threatening with the Chrono. Meanwhile, bottom lane, though, this is a really deep dive. They should be able to get 4-2-3. As a consequence, Avatar mode in with the combination. Even only with level 2 toss, they can secure the kill. And they're going to be able to chain this into a secondary kill as well. The Shackles should buy enough time for Avatar mode to have the abilities back off cooldown. That'll be plenty of damage to be able to find Ace12. They'll need a little bit of extra assistance coming from the tower. Meanwhile, in the river, though, Sanctity, they've used the Chrono from Bell and Ryu off the back of the Tidebringer is able to get another kill. So, Neon, a couple of really nice sequence of events for them.
Sequence of events, sure, but it was an unforced error that Lilgun had, right? There's no reason for a sniper to be diving behind a tier 1 tower at this stage of the game when all ultimates are available. So, just a little bit too aggressive, feeling maybe a bit overconfident with how well the laning stage went. They will still be able to get the tier 1 tower top, I suppose, but I wonder if they're even going to defend bot. Seems like they're pretty keen to, with this Dream Coil available on Sanctity, plus the Brew Split.
Yeah, they're ready to go. They are more than content with being able to take this team fight. None of the ultimates are still lacking for the side of Neon. Look at the 1 kill on Chuan. This kill on Avatar mode is going to be a little bit more difficult. It's going to be relying on just controlling for the max time. They're probably going to need the Tornado to refresh Sanctity spells. They won't be able to get it off at the last second. And with Seth standing nearby, 3 points in the Shadow Word is enough to heal up the Tiny.
Yeah, they weren't able to dispel that Shadow Word as well, so yeah, he's going to be plenty tanky enough. They also had the Rock available if they did want to make that rotation, but of course, like we were saying before, they had the ultimates previously. Only just now has the boat come up, so they weren't really keen to want to make that turnaround fight happen. So pretty decent commitment, to be honest, from Lilgun, just to be able to get one hero from it. So yeah, I think they're going to be fairly okay with that on Neon.
I got the blink though in Avatar mode. Love to see them try and get Chuan's level 6.
are scanning.
so you can get the kill and then connect it into an objective. Maybe with all 5 heroes, though, they might be able to put some pressure onto a tower, though. They are going to look to smoke top. Again, look at the support's positioning. Kishka. Well, that's quite the arena, but at least Avatar Mode's on the left side, so he's able to get the toss back. Kishka will not escape, but the rest of Lilgun are threatening to enter the area. 4-2-3 is just going to stand his ground, but all the ultimates getting dropped directly on his head. The rock along with the golem, that's enough to get the kill. And now Bell's going to try and time walk into the middle as well, chasing down Ace 12. Protected by the T2 tower. The Brewmaster will be okay. They might be able to get set, but 11 already used the Raw prior, so a 2-for-1, but great movement coming out from Neon.
Yeah, great movement from Neon. Sanctity, I've been singing his praises a lot. That time around, he spent quite a lot of time chasing Sep because, of course, he's kind of gone this tanky build as well. Full magic wand. He's got the infused raindrops. He had the Shadow Word ticking on himself the entire time. So actually, in order to secure the kill, he needed to drop that Dream Coil. And if he just didn't have to do that, then of course he would have been able to turn around, hit it onto 3, and then maybe clean up that fight for the rest of his team. So, you know, some nice play coming through from Sep to make sure that Puck does need to commit more heavily onto him if he wants to secure that easy kill.
Now, with Enryu's progression so far on this Conquer, how are you expecting him to itemize? Like, it's a first item BKB, but do you feel like there's a potential for him to go a little bit more into, like, the position 1 itemization, or is it still kind of the utility offlane Conquer?
I think he could go utility. I wouldn't hate to see an armlet or something like that, just for some cheap-ish ramp-up damage for him. Of course, just being able to slightly outplay, of course, with the armlet toggles as well. But beyond that, I think it's just going to be all utilities. So, you know, just things like the Aghanim Scepter, the Aghanim Shard, to be able to reposition. They're all useful abilities.
I think another big thing for Neon as well is the fact that Avatar Mode's having a really good game. 4-0-1. Of course, the Tiny's still a bit of an issue. Even though this hero can get a lot of kills, it can feel like you're not farming a lot. She's kind of lowest out of the last hits in regards to the cores. So hopefully he's able to continue with these kills, because he really does need to have a good game if he's going to get that scepter at a decent timing.
I only just noticed, but Chuan, I think he only just hit level 6. Like, the Mass Serpent Wards have not been used.
Oh, look at Kishka's positioning. Have detection? Is it going to be a sentry? But Avatar Mode, he jumps to the left in. Oh no, Kishka just ran inside the sentry range. The rest of Lilgun are starting to make their way top. Kishka's able to get the combination off. They should get the Mars, but at least he's already used all of his abilities. And hang on, Kishka, they won't even kill off the Mars. So now Lilgun, they can chase forward for more, but down to the south, they're able to find the life of Sanctity. So without the Puck's damage for this team fight, I don't know if Lilgun can stick around, and they're going to jump in. In fact, Neon targeting down 4-2-3 in the moment. He's going to be stuck inside the Serpent Wards as well. X drag back, and Bell, he's already used the Chronosphere, so they won't require this for this longer drawn-out fight. The backline, though, Chuan still trying to target down Kishka for the moment. Should be able to escape to the north. Looks like Chuan's going to... Oh, meanwhile, Bell, though, gets the bash onto 11. Needs another one. The time walk is back up. He's not going to close the distance, so we do still have Ace 12 getting killed off, though. Henry was able to find that Brewmaster. Messy fight. Very messy fight.
Yeah, needing to use the buyback. It was a really good use of the Mass Serpent Wards, though, right? Catching it in combination together with Enryu. And, oh, Kishka, this is really key for you to want to go back out onto the map. He's completely under vision as well, so they're just going to be able to pincer in here unless they catch out Chuan. Oh.
Looks like they should be able to run into the Shaman. A little bit too late to offer some assistance. We did see, though, that's second death of the game here for Sanctity. I didn't catch the chrono on the screen, but it looked like it was enough from Bell just to be able to bring him down through that ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You're still a Puck, right? You don't have the greatest armor. It's a little bit better now that you've got the Witchblade, of course, but it's just going to become easier and easier for Bell. I wonder if he goes into... Does he have the Mask of Madness queued up, or is he just going the...
Oh, Brewmaster. The rest of the Lilgun are actually starting to connect. Might be a little bit too late, though. Avatar Mode having this haste, but meanwhile, down to the right side, the Warlock trying to enter the high gun, but Kishka will make sure that is not an opportunity as the wall is instantly blocking off that avenue.
I'd say Warlock being dead is a pretty big deal. You want to try and force the buyback.
Avatar Mode.
Go for a kill.
Oh, look at the damage onto Kishka. Okay. They'll get rid of the Mars, but still, this is a big kill if they can find the Tiny. Sanctity's able to secure it, but Bella's going to try and rejoin the fight. He doesn't have the chrono, and meanwhile 4-2-3 on the high ground is just pummeling into Bell. Time log back and available. Bell should be able to escape to the north, and Enryu still under the cover of the magic immunity.
These teams are just so desperate to be able to keep their tier 1 tower. Of course, Warlock coming back in, still hasn't used the chaotic offering.
Chrono on 5.
I think they could back out though. They should back out. Chuan might be the one that falls.
Oh, they're going to bait him. Oh, Bell is so ready to jump in if they group up. They've got the ward on the high ground to play with. What? What is that Sanctity? This man, how does he just dodge a rock like that? Oh my lord, Sanctity, you baller, and our ace was forced to pop the ultimate over a defensive use. It's going to chase back Neon.
Kind of isolated, but they don't have the vision considering it's nighttime, so that brew split not going to be super effective from Ace 12, but still more valuable kills. More importantly, that objective that I was talking about before, the tier 1 tower going down, does open up a whole lot more of the jungle to play around, opens up the Roche pit for yourself as well, if you were to take another successful team fight. And, you know, I'm just going to use an Ares-ism here. What is the counter to a Faceless Void and the Chronosphere and this 100 to death? It is a second life, whether it be the Wraith King or an Aegis of the Immortals. So I feel like Sanctity is probably the one that wants to be prioritized having that, considering he's been the main focus of the Void whenever possible.
It's a tricky call, though, to make, because do you give it to the Park, do you give it to the Sniper? Because both these heroes, they are very, very vulnerable to a gap close and someone controlling you for a long enough duration. So maybe we might see Sanctity has to go for like a early Aeon disc. And I think this is another thing of why Puck is very strong right now, just because even though that item has been nerfed over time, it's just incredibly strong against like this instant jump and a lineup that relies on control.
They see Enryu's just TP'd in here. I don't know if he actually saw Kishka, so they might be able to set up for a kill onto it, but he does have that BKB, of course. Might have got a brief glimpse of Ace 12 there with the Torrent. Will he be able to get onto him?
Oh, they're going to see Kishka. Avatar mode's going to blink to the left instead. Kishka's still able to get the ultimate off once again. Look at the arena placement. They're not going to be able to chase him down, so Kishka's still alive to start the fight. Meanwhile, though, look at the backline. Sanctity trying to make as much chaos as possible. The coil leashing two together, and Kishka's going to jump back in. They'll get rid of the Shadow Shaman. 11's going to be able to join the fight as well. Roaring Tiny. How can you take this fight, though? It's going to be reliant on Bell to find a gigantic chrono, but he won't have an opportunity for that. So Lilgun, a 2-for-1 through this skirmish. They're not going to go for Enryu, are they? No, just tier 2 tower.
Yeah, no glyph available. Why not? It was really good positioning coming through from the Puck as well as the Sniper, Sanctity, and 4-2-3, taking full advantage of the fact that the vision that the rest of the team have provided. This one by Ace 12 to the left of the Dire tier 2 tower saw the Faceless Void rotating in. You just saw them slowly start to migrate towards the left-hand side of the team fight, realizing that Faceless Void would need to go through the rest of the team in order to get to them. So it was just really safe. Again, what I was talking about before with taking those tier 1 towers, it opens up the Roche pit, but with a tier 2 and an outpost claimed, it just becomes even easier for yourself.
Uh-oh, here they come.
He has no TP.
What? Kishka? He's gonna pogo down to the river again. Avatar mode looking to toss Kishka away from the numbers of Lilgun. They should be able to start the fight with a successful kill onto the Mars. He's really making them work for it simultaneously. So Avatar mode, he's getting chased down by the Rockman. They should be able to get the kill. Stuck inside the river, though, is going to be 11. But they're not onto 4-2-3. A beautiful use of the micro from Ace 12, being able to cyclo Bell into the air. So 4-2-3 is able to have a free fight for the moment, just targeting down, sniping the Void from afar, as they're not going to have this threat of the Chronosphere now. They'll finally finish the kill, and now they can move for more targets. Well, on the high ground, Ser drops the rock, but where's the damage? 4-2-3. Protected for the BKB for the moment, and it's just going to be all up to Enryu to get this sniper kill, and he does not have the damage. As Lilgun, they take the fight head-to-head against Neon at the front of the Roche pit, and they will come out on top.
It was just, again, really good positioning by Sanctity, right? Making sure that he's not the one getting caught inside the Chronosphere. The rest of the damage just isn't there, so I honestly, it feels kind of like the Faceless Void feels a little bit, he underestimates his own damage because, you know, he's got a decent amount of farm. He's level 14 as well, so I feel like if you're able to catch out the puck or the sniper with that Maelstrom, you should be able to take out at least one of them, but obviously Bell just not feeling the same level of confidence there, at least until he has that BKB for himself. The Dream Call has really been the bane of his existence so far.
And the issue is Sanctity's having a very good game as well, 7-2 and 6, so he's going to get towards that level 25 talent at a pretty good timing. He's already top level out of everyone this game. They got back into the pit, Danog, so they do have the Rock. They do have a couple other ultimates to play with, but it doesn't look like this time Neon are going to be able to try and stop Lilgun.
They got all the vision as well on Lilgun, right? Like, just look at Kishka's positioning around where the Hawk is, making sure that he's got that Blink Dagger available for himself, level 12 as well. Now it's time for him to go more regular position 3 items, right? He's going to go into the Aghanim Shard, he's going to go into that BKB for himself, so Kishka, he himself is having a pretty solid game.
What's kind of the game plan now for Neon being down the Aegis advantage?
I like, the reaction for me is just push out lanes, prevent them from being able to push. But the thing is, they've got so many different avenues where they can push, and you have pretty terrible split push. Like Faceless Void, sure you got the Maelstrom, but you don't want to be committing yourself deep onto the map without your BKB. Kunkka can do it. Tiny, I suppose, sort of can, but Warlock, Shadow Shaman can't do it at all.
That's for your impertinence.
And instead, you know, they're just playing a little bit too safe, meaning that Lilgun, with this advantage, with this map control that they've got, and look at how bright the map is for Lilgun. Like, they know everything about the positioning on Neon right now, so it's just about picking off wherever they want, playing where they want to. They're not restricted by anything that Neon's doing, which is oftentimes what you want to do in a lot of these games. You need to force the enemy team to do something that they don't want to.
They're getting set up to jump in, Ryu. Anyone that looks to protect this tower, they've got very good vision around the tier 2. This ward is going to soon expire, though. See how they can, like, try and siege down the tower. You were right as well, Sanctity. He was the one to find the Aegis, Ryu.
He had the X mark on him, but, like, you see there, like I said, he can split push, but it needs to be with someone that isn't there, and that's not even really split push, is it? It's just counter push, so... Yeah, this is the big area of concern that I saw from Neon's lineup from the beginning, right? You might have pretty good team fight, but if you're not having anything to pair together with the Chronosphere, if you're really reliant on these super long cooldown ultimates like the Golem and the Chronosphere, and if you don't have a ways to push out other than the Faceless Void realistically, then you're going to have a tough time.
Smoke up from Lilgun. Kishka at the helm. Gonna part their way into the top jungle here. And Ryu currently positioned on the front line. We'll see if they're able to bring down the Conquer. They're going to look to avoid him instead and go for the Warlock. A much easier kill. Taking rid of the support. Completely out of the equation. And Bell should be able to TP out. Kishka will not have a way to stop that. So just the Warlock kill. But this will give now Lilgun an opportunity with a 5-on-4, I should say. They're going to have the advantage now to put the lanes in their position, and hang on a second, they've run into Bell. The BKB's gonna do nothing. Oh no. Bell just feeling like he can enter the triangle, but really nicely done from Lilgun. They have Kishka continuing to farm top, then the rest of Lilgun instantly sweep back to the triangle to make sure they cover every side of the map.
Yeah, he just got that BKB as well. I was about to say, this isn't how you want to use your first charge of the BKB. And really good fingers on there on 11, making sure he gets the raw immediately after he pops it.
I don't know what to do. Maybe toss back under the tower. Alright, that's a pretty good start, but an even better counter initiation as Kishka gets the arena just in front of the tier 4 tower, so they won't get the extra damage. And no one dies on Lilgun. A couple of ultimates will be forced out, but they are still all ready to go.
Yeah, you've got the Chronosphere available now, but it's not really like you have any damage to rally into it. No boats, Shaman's dead, maybe the Fatal Bonds, but outside of that, it's really nothing.
Maybe another toss play into Chrono?
I mean, I guess, but you still got that Aegis to contend with on Sanctity, so he's the one putting himself up in harm's way. He's saying, hit me. Do your worst.
and they will not even make an attempt. Full set of barracks going to be claimed from Lilgun. They'll back off, look to get the outpost. I mean, they still got 40 seconds on this Aegis. Don't think they'll get anything out of it. Maybe they'll posture aggressively in the jungle just to see if Neon come out. And they're going to.
They're going to. They can get some map control up, though, with this time. You can see Ace 12 putting down...
Oh,
Look at
no.
the positioning, man.
Dude.
It's so good.
They have this area completely covered with wards. And look at Kishka. He's just charging forward. Onto Enryu they're going to go. Ace 12 has got the split back up to rock and roll with as well, and all their ultimates just committed on the Conquer. They really want to take him out of this fight, and they will do just that. They've even cycled up Avatar mode. Will be no follow-up though. Deep inside the base of Neon.
Top tower is under attack.
And it does still feel like a damage issue, though, right? Like now, if you Chronosphere, you don't have the boat, you don't have the Tidebringer, you have no way to deal damage inside of it.
What was that timing? Knew exactly when the Cyclone was going to expire. He jumped in and had a free setup. And now Bell is not here for this defense. That's a second full set.
Top barracks are under attack.
This is a demolition. There's no other word for it. I feel like Lilgun have just played this game incredibly well. Great movements coming out. Basically, the only big mistake that they made was that dive beyond the tier 1 tower bot, but ever since then, they've just played their draft really well. Some good individual plays, particularly from the supports in terms of how much vision they've been able to provide, and then, of course, just being able to secure that Aegis, making Sanctity not afraid at all of moving forward into the front lines. There we go. BKB available as well for the Mars, the position for Mars.
Oh boy.
So we got 3 BKBs now on Lilgun's side.
It's a game where we really haven't even needed to speak about the Sniper too. It's just crazy on everyone else and Lilgun and how they've been performing in this game 1.
Mm-hmm.
They have so much vision. They have so much vision. They see everyone. Oh my lord.
They have a Hawk that's...
And playing on Conker's supposed to be tanky. Oh my god, what is that damage?
He's got a bloody plate mail, man. He's got 2.5k HP, but it's not enough.
They got the Cyclone on the left. Kishka's waiting for the jump. The timing needs to be perfect, and it's not going to be. Bell finds a pretty decent Chronosphere as well onto 2, but where's the damage? It's going to come through afterwards, maybe with the combo getting dropped, but they only got the Beastmaster, and it comes at such a grave cost for Neon. Sanctity still protected with Aeon. This tier 3 tower has gone down, so your last set of barracks is exposed. Look at Sanctity, man. Is at the front of the fountain.
He could dance all day. He doesn't care. They've also got that dive bomb available on the Hawk if they were wanting to have it as well, but they don't even need it. They're going to take the last lane of Rax. GG is called. It was a pretty good Chronosphere, right? He needed to catch the Beastmaster as he was coming in because you knew that the Roar was coming, right? But again, the damage into the Chrono wasn't there, the pushing power wasn't there, and the ability to counter some of the strong push from Lilgun just was not there. So that plus a number of good plays from Lilgun end up securing them the victory pre-30 minutes.
We did see Neon for a decent stage of that game, at least half of it. They were able to combat Lilgun pretty early. Like I was quite impressed with some of the rotations we saw. Avatar mode was looking really solid. They were playing with the Conquer as well. Like Enryu had a really good start, and I think it's important to always play with probably your strongest hero, and that's exactly what they were doing. But I really wish it was easy for us and the viewers to be able to get an understanding of how much vision played a factor in this game. Like we can bring it up as much as possible. You can kind of see it as well, but there's no real statistic that can just make it easy to break down. And it really felt like that the Hawks, the wards, always scouting out, the supports being able to place them in perfect locations. But also not just that, it was really just the positioning from Kishka a majority of the time, even Ace 12. There was that occasion down bottom where we saw the Brewmaster playing by the hard camp where he popped the smoke, then Puck TP'd in, they got a 2-for-1. Just those occasions where it always felt like Lilgun, they were reading the map, they knew exactly when Neon were coming, so they just had they were ready to go, they were never caught off guard, so there's just no easy statistic to be able to relate back to and be able to speak about, but it was just a huge factor in this game.
I would say probably the easiest way that you could try and quantify that is that it's easier to get vision up if you're not worried about the threat of someone just TPing in and killing you, right? So, uh, the ability to take towers is pretty important in my eyes, right? Because that opens up more of the map for you to play around, not just cores, right, to go for kills, but even supports. We saw in the early game, I was really praising Chuan and his ability to get some really nice observer wards down super deep so that they could see Sanctity look to try and make that rotation before they'd come online. So he could make that rotation at that stage because Lilgun weren't quite strong enough yet. But if you don't progress along with the timings that the enemy team have and take objectives to lessen the effect of those timings, then you're just never going to get the map opened up for yourself again. You're going to get more objectives taken, whether that be towers or Roshan. You're going to have cores having to farm in safer and less monetarily beneficial positions. And yeah, it's just a big snowballing effect from there. So I think what I want to see from Neo next game, more push. Just give me more push. It's as simple as that.
Well, unfortunately for them, in game one, we weren't able to see that come out, but they had a bit of a fight through a decent stage of this game. But in the end, it will be Lilgun taking a game one pretty convincingly with when they're able to really come online. It's kind of expected as well. Top of the table on Lilgun, and they are continuing to show their dominance, but it is just game one. The question is, can they continue with this momentum into game two? And we'll find out after the break.